Hey guys, another day, let's have another rant, shall we? What should we talk about now? Should we talk about certain court statements that were passed to family court? Which never actually got there because it's an undertaking, because I just wanted to see who was trying to ruin my marriage with lies. Saying I went out of my way to get a bank account sneakily behind my wife's back. No, I didn't. Because of obviously previously putting myself in debt previously before to make sure bills are cleared, etc. Obviously my credit rating was suffering. And my five credit cards, which we use for the family regularly, usually by Sarah Jane, who'd tell me afterwards, and she was in control of them despite them being mine, solely mine, not like I had it. It's interesting, isn't it? I went to get a bank account because I hadn't had one for many years, so I could actually start building a credit rating. Because obviously my credit rating was bad, and I was getting my qualifications and wanted to start a business. And obviously it's not very good starting a business if you haven't got a very good credit rating. So that way I could have all my bills for credit cards paid through my account, with Sarah Jane still being in control of the money, etc., and the rest of it. Which it always was, which I was quite happy with. It was never a problem. But apparently what happened was, I did it sneakily. And because I had to ask Sarah Jane's permission, because everything, as always, was paid to a bank account, uh, apparently she said, well, no, why? But I didn't get a chance to explain because by then certain people already had their hooks into her, including Child Social Services and various other people whose malicious agendas are the reason I'm sat here talking to you like this and spent 11 months in a bus station after two Christmases outside eating my dinner in a park, one in Andover, one in Eastleigh. Well, I'm still in Eastleigh now and have the backing of the entire town. I'm looking forward to certain people putting pen to paper on what they've witnessed with regards to the hacking because Hampshire can start, well, if you haven't got any evidence, really, then why don't you speak to the neighbours at Acre Court about what happened to my family and then add that to what happened at Tintagel Close and the stack of paper evidence bring me nothing but harassed, which is why I got us moved to Acre Court in the first place. But anyway, yes, we'll carry that on later. So back to the bank account. So I got that, but apparently I did it maliciously without Sarah Jane knowing and did it just like that. No, I didn't. I did it just to put us back on an even keel so I could then start building my business with my qualifications. I haven't been able to use despite qualifying in, 2022, September the 22nd, I think it was, something like that, I don't know. Have a look at Christopher Marshall Facebook page. It's a business page, not Chris Sponge Marshall, which is my personal page, which I was advised to block Robbie Husk, Adam Phillips and stop using when I was living at Tintagel Close, or might have been just moved to Acre and there's still harassment, and there was, I don't know, someone phoned us up, or phoned me up on my mobile pretending to be the National Fraud Investigation Bureau. I then phoned up the NFIB and they said, well, no, that's not right, and they gave me four separate crime numbers, which were in a little red book back at Acre Court, which I have no doubt was being kept or probably destroyed by Sarah Jane's friends, along with various other things like, I don't know, text messages from her proving she wasn't back from one of her statements from a hen do with Chip. She came back and then went out later on, hour or so plus, to go and get them. But whatever, she's back by Child Social Services. Obviously, I'm the man and I'm lying and I'm wrong and I'm the monster that apparently I'm supposed to be. I wonder how many dads have that in this country. Isn't it disgusting? Yeah, I'm an apparent monster. Yeah. Well, I am actually is an honest man who told his wife the truth and was put in a situation because of her friends knowing more about the world than I do, despite me never lying to her and promising this outside showboat in 1994 after being together for 2.5, 3 weeks. Fast forward 30 years, and despite still being married as far as I know, because I've certainly signed no end of marriage certificate or anything like that, I'm sat still in Eastleigh while still having private internet hacked into, which is already posted on the Facebook page, and various other things stopping me from uploading things that would otherwise not want to be known by the world, because apparently I'm not entitled to my say or my truthful moment in court, where people have violated my human rights, my civil rights, pulled apart my life because I told them the truth, and now they don't like it because maybe they've dragged someone into criminal offences and someone's children into criminality when they shouldn't have been, because it's just minding their own bloody business because their lives are so perfect. They could have just, I don't know, got on with their own lives. But no, what happens behind closed doors? Yeah, closed doors. It's interesting what a statement that is. But what if people are using some form of legal technology which also acts like a listening bit of technology or something like that? Then you haven't really got closed doors or privacy, have you, people? What you've got is nasty, malicious people with the intent of not just listening but injuring people, destroying their lives for no reason other than they wanted a quiet life where they were living. They weren't happy, they were trying to move out. But instead, it didn't happen the way it should have done. Instead, we had to fight and fight and fight and get Kip Malwas an MP involved before our local landlord would actually pay any attention. And then suddenly jumped up and said, well, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. And after a couple of years, we finally had a fence built. And even then, that progressed this harassment even further. So, that is the actual truth. So the main point was a bank account, but there's so much to tell you. The story is massive. And I'm now having people put pen to paper what they witnessed while I've been easily hacking, easily through Wi-Fi being stopped from access, other people's Wi-Fi being played around with in front of them while they're doing stuff on my actual phone to add their Wi-Fi to it, etc. That will be written down in paper, it'll be on paper soon, won't it? But that won't be enough for the constabulary because written, sworn statements, can be forged, can't they, all the time? And lies and malicious accusations and character defamation are apparently part and parcel of family court and child social services mandate. So he's apparently meeting with a parent as a child social service worker every week for an hour. I wasn't aware that was. I thought that's where we had adult social services worker and then the children that we were child social services worker. I don't know. I must be that stupid, that retarded. Obviously, my mental health must be that bad according to everyone in the world, which it isn't, as we know from the statement. My mental health statement is. I've also been spoken to by, I don't know, police shrinks. I had one laughing, talking about, I don't have a blue telephone box to travel through time. If I did, however, we certainly wouldn't be here, would we? No. I'd have stuck to the thing I said before we moved to King Arthur's Way to intelligent close to Sarah Jane. I don't think we should move here. I reckon this will end up being the end of us because it's a horrible place to live. Oh, well, guess I was right on that one. Sorry, sis. It's not trying to throw in the face either. I never have. I'm not that sort of human being. Is it sort of thing I'd sit there and say, oh, yeah, but this, you didn't listen. Why would I? Yeah, the benefit of that, who would listen? But if you love your partner enough and you really trust them, which after all that time to you, I'd have thought I would. She had nothing but my trust all the time. Would I back down on arguments? Yes. Why is that? Because I didn't want to argue with her. She earned the right to have my respect all the time. And my trust. And then from 2020, or according to 2016 apparently, in certain court statements, our marriage was horrible. Well, no, it wasn't. It was fine. It was just other people sticking their nose in where we had to vie for time for each other. Eventually, we started enjoying ourselves a bit more, and then all this started when a certain person moved into number 72 Tazwell next door. You see how this goes. This is a knock-on effect of everything that happened because all we asked for was a quiet life and did things the right way and followed the rules. And look what happened. There are people in this country who use this sort of malicious technology. It's been documented around the world. It's a disgrace. It's a violation of civil, human rights, privacy, and just about everything you want. It's disgusting. It's irreversible what happens to people because of it. And I believe it's been prosecuted in the country by the CPS and all the rest of it. See this? Just a little bit talking about why I wanted the bank account to build a business. Why I went out on my way to go to Bew to keep this away from my children. It turns out it was put right next to them. And Sarah Jane. Imagine that. Yeah, how do you feel about that? Anyway, I won't ramble on. I only get 10 minutes. 10 minutes isn't enough. In the court, with the truth, it will take seconds to convict for a jury. And this does require a jury. It is that simple. I've spoken to experts in the military and all the rest. Yeah, Chris, this tech can't be used. It microwaves people from inside. I'm not lying about it, guys. And I'll sit and have any evaluation by real high-level professionals, not idiots from child social services around there who think they're geniuses, because they're not. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I will continue to do this. I keep making a mark every day of what goes on. It's been over 1,000 days since I've been with Sarah Jane and my children. I haven't been able to have one bit of a life. Still competed, still proving at the top of the world and we're training, but yeah. There you go, Sarah Jane, once again. So I'm lying to you, am I? Really? Interesting. So I guess I lied all the way through. See you soon.